Before we get started with today's episode, I want to let you know about our current Design Her Travel newsletter. It is where we share all of the behind the scenes of the episode, my own personal stories, and travel tips that can help you travel longer for less or create the life of your dreams. It really is a place to connect even more deeply with Design Her Travel, and I would love for you to hop on our weekly newsletter. I won't spam you with daily email, but I will send you one beautiful newsletter a week. So if you are interested, then click the link in the show notes and get started now. I will see you there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Design Her Travel podcast. I'm your host, Kim Anderson. As an avid traveler, global nomad, and someone who considers themselves a citizen of the world, I want to say welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. My hope in creating this podcast is to inspire you to take the leap of faith and to design the life of your dreams. For me, that includes connecting with like-minded individuals and creating a community of souls living their best lives out in and around the world. Each week, you'll hear stories and conversations from fellow travelers who have figured out how to incorporate travel as a key component in their daily lives. Their stories are beautiful and inspiring, just like you. I can't wait to go on this journey with you. So let's do this. Here we go. Hello, 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 beautiful souls. Welcome back to today's episode of the Design Her Travel podcast. I'm your host, Kim Anderson. Today is a travel talk episode, and it was inspired by my conversation earlier this week with Tom Tursich. Tom is an amazing human, and he and his dog, Savannah, walked around the entire globe. Tom is one of 10 people that are listed as pedestrian circumnavigators. And Savannah is the first dog to have completed such a task. Their journey is amazing. It was really more of a quest than a journey. And so if you haven't checked out his story, then be sure to do that. It's episode number 162. So you can click the link in the show notes or search 162. My conversation with Tom got me thinking about just how easy it actually is to travel with a pet. And it seems like having a pet might be the one thing that would hold you back from taking an extended holiday. But if you've listened to Tom's story, you'll see that he was able to travel quite easily with his four-legged companion. So if you have a desire to travel across Europe with your four-legged companion, but are curious about the quarantine rules or the paperwork, then you're in the right place. In today's episode, I am breaking down the EU pet passport, what it is, who needs it, why it's a total game changer, and I'll walk you through how to get one, what you can expect at border crossings, and even talk about some of those quirky country-specific rules that could make or break your trip. If you're anything like me, you just might be surprised on how easy it is to travel across Europe with your four-legged friends. So let's get into it. First off, what is the EU pet passport? Basically, you can think of it as your pet's golden ticket to stress-free travel within the European Union. It's an official document that holds all the key info about your pets, like the proof of vaccination, microchip details, and their health records. Basically, it is their passport. It's an official document, and it allows your pet to travel within the European Union just as seamlessly as you can. So who needs an EU pet passport? Well, if you're traveling to, from, or within the EU with a dog, cat, or get this, a ferret, they're on the same list of registrants for the EU passport, then you'll definitely want to get your hands on one of these. It's especially handy if you plan on bouncing between multiple countries within the European Union. It makes it so much easier, and it keeps you from getting tangled in this web of vet visits at every single border. If you are thinking about traveling with your pets to the EU, the sooner you can get this document, the better. Even if you're just considering traveling to the EU, then start your process early. Some of the requirements, like a rabies vaccine, need to be done in advance, and you really don't want any last-minute surprises. So starting this journey and planning ahead really helps avoid the heartbreak of not getting the passport or not being able to go to certain countries. The beauty is it is pretty easy to get the EU pet passport. If you're already in the EU, you can go to a licensed vet and they can issue the pet passport. But if you're coming from outside the EU, you can't actually get the passport before you arrive. Instead, you'll need to meet the EU's entry requirements first. And those are actually pretty easy and straightforward. You need 3 things to meet those requirements. The first is your animal needs to be microchipped, and it needs to be ISO compliant, and the microchip needs to be implanted before you get any of the vaccinations. I'll explain a little bit more about that in just a minute. The second thing that you need is a rabies vaccination. Or I guess I should say the second thing your pet needs is a rabies vaccination. So that vaccination is given after the microchip and at least 21 days before travel. The third thing that you need is a health certificate, and it's issued by an accredited vet in your home country. Usually those are valid for 10 days before entry. So why does the microchip need to come first? The microchip serves as your pet's official identification. I think we're all pretty much in the know about the uses of microchip. If your animal gets lost, it's an easy way to find them. People can take them to the vet. They can get scanned for the chip, and you can be notified about your pet's location. The reason to get your pet microchipped first is because when they give the rabies vaccination, the vet records the microchip number on the vaccination certificate. So that ensures that the vaccine is tied to the correct pet. If your pet gets vaccinated before being microchipped, the rabies shot won't count for EU travel, and you'll have to redo it after the microchip is implanted. And if you do that, that means you have to wait another 21 days before traveling. So getting it done in the right order saves time, money, and a whole lot of frustration. Once you've arrived in the EU and cleared the entry requirements, you can visit an EU vet and get the official EU pet passport. After that, it replaces the need for a new health certificate every time you travel to the EU. The EU pet passport is a game changer because no one wants to deal with stressful border crossings or unexpected quarantine stays or last-minute vet visits in a country where you don't speak the language. Having this pet passport really simplifies everything. One document, one set of rules, and no unnecessary headaches. It really is the ultimate travel hack for pet parents. So let's talk about some of those country-specific quirks. Most EU countries follow the same rules, but there are always outliers in society. So here are a few examples. Finland, Ireland, Malta, and Norway are 4 countries that require dogs to be treated for tapeworm before arrival. So if you're interested in going to any of those 4 countries with your pet, you'll need to have them treated for tapeworm as well. That's not standard in all the European countries, but for those 4, it is a requirement. Certain breeds also may have restrictions in some of the countries, so that's something to consider before heading to a specific country. Always check ahead if you have a breed that's commonly regulated. And obviously, the UK is not part of the EU or Switzerland either, so they have their own entry rules. An EU pet passport can help smooth things out if you're traveling between these regions, but you want to go ahead and check their country-specific rules when entering. Before interviewing Tom or Stephanie and Jillian of our Freedom Years, I had no idea how easy it was to actually travel with your pet. I think a lot of us who dream of a European holiday, spending a little extra time abroad, but having our pets is always a concern. We don't want to leave them home, but we don't always know if we're able to bring them or just how much of a challenge it will be to have them with us. That's what I love about the EU pet passport is that you can get this one documentation It lasts for your pets and it makes traveling so much easier. So that long-term extended holiday in the EU really is a tangible dream. I'd love to know if you have experience with the EU pet passport. Did you know this existed? Will this make you say yes to that extended holiday that you've been waiting for? So let me know. Hit me up on Instagram at designhertravel. Until next time, my friends. Thank you so much for showing up and listening to this episode. I know that there are so many things in life that you could be doing right now. And so it means a lot to me that you're here. There are so many more episodes coming your way. So if you enjoyed the show, please take a moment to review and follow us on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And if you know someone who might like to hear it, please share. Those little acts of kindness mean a lot and help more than you know. I appreciate your time and getting the opportunity to share this moment. I'd love to hear more from you. I'd love to connect, so reach out on social. You can find me on Instagram at seafaringwanderer. That's SeafaringWanderer. And then you can join our Facebook group at Design Her Travel Podcast. I would love to connect, hear more from you. Let me know what you'd like to hear more of, places you'd like to hear about, and things you'd like to know how to do when designing your life. So thank you, everyone, and I'll be back soon.